All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Zenith Online Racing. It's Season 5. We're here in Australia for Round 10 of Tier 1. I'm Arbiga, back after an extended vacation. In the booth tonight, we got DZAG00, I believe currently leading the Tier 2 Championship. Welcome back, my friend. How are we doing?
I'm doing good. It's good to be back, especially around the best track on the calendar, Australia.
Mm,
Good to be back, yeah.
that's a
I don't
bold
know if I'm
claim.
still leading after the last race because I had a bottle job at the end, towards the end, but
You
close,
were,
yeah.
I think you were 25 points up, but because we had as we saw last week, we got some new guys. Some of the guys from the top of the standings from Tier 2 moved up into Tier 1. Scavney, Sam, to name a few. And so to round out the grids a little bit better so that we're having more of a
hmm
full roster in Tier 1. So, yeah, those guys out of your way now. And I think you were 25 points up before the last race. And I think you got, what, P6 or something like that? So,
Fifth, I think, something like that. So
yeah, so
yeah,
you
yeah.
should
But
still have it.
it's all different now anyway. But
And
yeah, no, it's good to be back. I've missed it, and
yeah,
like I
absolutely.
said, it's nice. Australia is one of my favorite tracks, so any chance I can get to watch some F1 cars go around Australia, I'm going to take. So
Absolutely. I like as I said, bold claim though. Just say Australia is one of your favorite. It's a bit of a nostalgia, I guess. Like just it's
yeah,
always the first race of the season, so it's just I do enjoy the track personally. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites, but I do like it a lot. So not necessarily the greatest place for racing, but it should be good with our group here. The pace we've got, the
it will.
competition we've got in Tier 1, I think it's going to be a hell of a race here. We're on board with Mr. Questionable himself. That's what the Q stands for, Questionable VR Packer. And he is making his
A little
way
bit of a
around
lock
for the
up there.
first hot lap of the session. Yeah, one of the first guys out there week in, week out. So on board with him. Um,
Looks
yeah.
pretty tidy besides that lock up. He'll be good. Ooh, loses the
Oh,
back
yeah.
end there.
That
I
was
say that, and
dicey.
then
Yeah.
mere seconds later,
I
but
think he's just heard me calling him questionable Packer on the stream, and he's pissed off now. Lost his focus. Um, all right,
yeah,
so yeah,
looks like despite that mistake, I think it'll be an okay banker. He takes 11 and 12 really well.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I think low 19s would expect maybe a high 18 if the track conditions are okay. With the clouds, that might cool the track down. It just might not be ideal, but
yeah.
um, low 19s I would expect most
Ooh,
guys to be around there. Wow, just
getting
barely
loose
saves
there
it.
too. Yeah, 19.8.
Yeah,
So not
he's
great.
got time. He's
Yeah,
got time to find there.
yeah. We know there
For
was
sure.
some big mistakes there for sure. He should really be the favorite for pole this week, I would imagine. With Lando also changed his name for a third week in a row, not being here. I think he was NWB last week. Now he's some other league name, Nathan or something or other. I don't know. When he comes back, we'll see if he's got a fourth name for us. So I'm not even going to use the new name yet. Lando, as you've come to know him if you're watching all the old races. Felipe Massacre slides up into P2 for the time being, but Killer Blue
Yeah.
jumps up onto provisional pole in that
19-2
Haas.
is a solid lap at this point.
Yeah,
Track
really.
evolution will kick in a lot.
Yeah, really
Um,
solid first lap from him. Definitely going to be a challenger here, but this
Camden's
is
about to cross the line too, and he'll this looks like he's on a decent lap, at least what I've caught of it. Yeah, 20-0. Must have had a scruffy first sector.
I was going to say, yeah, Packer needs to convert here with Lando out of the picture. Like, he really needs to just go out and get a pole and win this race. Camden obviously needs to do really well here, too, with Lando not being here. Packer, usually a top three guy, so Camden needs to minimize the loss to Packer and gain as much as he possibly can on Lando while he's out for the night. So, see how Camden can shape up. Yeah, 20 flat for him on the first run. He'll be definitely looking for more there. Puff with a pretty good time there. Puts himself P5 for the time being,
Good
20.3.
start.
Yeah. He's beat out Sam by 4/10 there. They were chatting about their time trial times today. So a little bit of friendly competition between those two. We'll see how that pans out in the next 12 minutes. Already 6 minutes gone in qualifying. That went fast.
It's a decent. It's a deceptively long lap. I mean, a minute 20 flying lap, but it's pretty long, and the out laps take some time. So
indeed, they do. T-Money on a run.
He just finished.
Yeah.
He got a 20.8.
See if there's anybody. Doesn't look like anybody on a run right now. Actually, it's just kind of everyone just putting around. I guess we got Doth. Jav is on a run. It looks like maybe.
Yeah, Eric just started one, and Jav's about to finish one.
Yeah, and Doth's about to start one as well. So let's get to Eric. Check in with him. See how he's doing. A little bit of traffic there. Camden getting out of the way nicely. Eric making his way through Sector 1. Really tricky set of corners through here. This one especially. If you get this one wrong, you end up in the barrier. Not a lot of room for error at this track, so probably we're going to see a safety car tonight. We don't see too many incidents.
For Eric.
Yeah, we don't see too many incidents in Tier 1, so maybe no safety car if we're lucky, but I expect to see at least one tonight. And I got my over-under on 2 people losing it in the high-speed chicane that comes up at the end of this long sweeping straight. Very quick left-right here. Everyone tries to take this one flat out. And if you get it wrong, there you go. He's out.
And there's one retirement in quali.
I called
it. I want to check race director because he had a really nice first sector.
He did. That was.
He had a 26.6 in the first sector, which I'm going to compare that to Killer Blue. Yeah, he's only 3/10 off Killer Blue, but in pole position, but a 26.6 would have put him pretty high up there. Head of Jinnit, who's in P6 right now, so he was up there comfortably in the top 10. Unfortunately, just couldn't hang on.
Hi, Maverick. Last time you said hello to me was in Abu Dhabi, and it did not end well for you. It's good
thanks
to
for
see
saying
you.
Hi to me, Maverick.
Yeah, it's good to see you in the chat there, Ed. Thanks for the comment there. I think we both jinxed Sam there, sorry, Eric, not Sam. Yeah, we both jinxed Eric on that one. I was just talking about how I expect to see someone lose it in the corner, and he goes ahead and does it right after Ed in the chat there says he's looking really smooth as well. So pretty unfortunate there. Packer on another
Doth's
run.
on the lap right now. And Packer, I think too.
Yeah, Packer as well. We'll get it. We'll check in with Packer after Doth. Doth with Beck in front of him through that corner, very tricky. Surely distracted him, but
probably half a tenth at least.
A little bit of time, but he stayed pretty steady through there, despite there being a car right in front of him. Might be a little nervous, but you just gotta hope the guy knows you're there.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 out of 2 so far. We get one more. I think my over/under prediction might have been a low ball. Who knows? I guess I don't know if we're counting just the race. Yeah, there we go. Renault 5 and 6 right now. That's pretty good for them. Checking with Packer. He's making his way through Sector 2. Says he's up 7/10, and that would put him just ahead of Killer Blue. Sorry, he's in Sector 3 now. Let's see if that timing is accurate. Can he go into the 18s here? Oh, yes, he does.
18.963.
Very nice lap there. Killer Blue on a run. So we got the... Oh, Felipe's out. And he's lost it in the same place as Eric. You can see we might actually get a shot of his car here. Killer Blue making his way through. Ooh, very close. Yeah, there he is. Felipe Massacre. Causing a massacre to his suspension. Oh, there he goes. There's Killer Blue out too. The Haas team losing a fortune this weekend in Australia.
I mean, good thing they got their laps in early in the session, but I think the track's going to keep getting faster.
Yeah, they're in trouble. Well, obviously they're in trouble because neither of them have a wheel on the road anymore. But yeah, that was this has been a pretty eventful qualifying so far. 3 cars out. 2 of them went in a spot we'd expect to see cars crash, but one of them in a bit of an odd place. Wouldn't expect to see somebody out there so early, but yeah, pretty crazy stuff. Here comes Puff. Looks like he's abandoning this lap.
Yep, he had invalidated, so he just was diving in the pits.
Some Moglis just crossing the line here. Goes up into P8, just ahead of Puff, barely.
Ryan on a very good lap so far, looks like. See what his time's like through Sector 1.
He's got his battery turned down.
Off now.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That must have... It popped up in the top right, and Just missed right.
So T-Money on a lap, I guess? Yeah, let's check in with T-Money here. Yeah, T-Money in a bit of a lockup. That, not a great apex there. He just sort of shortened his angle and didn't really get a good turn in. It's on that. Oh, and he's off. Yeah, that's invalidated. Thought he was a little wide there. And it was, even just staying on the throttle there was a bit risky. It's a very easy place to put the car around. Zenith on a flyer, Maverick on a flyer. Who's in front here?
Camden is also on the flyer.
It looks like Maverick at the front of it, so we'll stay with Maverick for now. And we'll check in with Camden and Zenith afterward. We also have a Ferrari going around. I think that's Derny on his out lap.
Yep. Zenith's down through Sector 1. Camden is
Maverick
0.03 slower.
Maverick is invalidated, so let's jump to Camden next. Camden is a little bit down, as you said. Yeah, he needs to get in those 19s. If he can get ahead of Felipe and close to Killer Blue, I think he'll be in a good spot. Not sure how many other drivers are going to be able to break into those low 19s. Doesn't look the tidiest lap from Camden here from what I've seen.
No, he was level, only 0.03 or 0.03 slower through the first two sectors. So, I think he's got a 19 easy if he can put a lap together, because there's been some mistakes here.
Yeah, it was not a great lap from Camden. It shows there. Here comes Zenith. 19.9 for Zenith. So it breaks into the 19s, gets him up at a P4. He was probably hoping for a little bit more there, but I'm sure he'll take it for the time being. He's got plenty of time to get another run in. See what he can do. Dernya on his run, he's already invalidated it, so he's not worth watching. Jav just starting a run here. He is good to go. Let's ride on board with Jav. I believe he just took a full-time seat for the first time tonight. If I'm not mistaken. I've lost track of all the names in the roster change. Oh, and he's off. Ooh, good save there. I thought he was done for. Really nice save from Jav. Obviously, this lap not going to be very quick, so stay on board. I guess Doth may be on a run. Let's go check in with Doth.
Yep, he's just in the first sector now.
Yeah,
he was behind Beck again. He got a little bit of a toe down that little short DRS straight.
Yeah, but Doth has been a little
tense.
A little off in qualifying this season, and he's invalidated. Yeah, I was going to say he's been a little off.
Faster, and then
yeah, that would have been a good time. But he's been struggling in quali for most of the season. I think last week he had a good one. He's had a couple good ones, but most of the season he's been either invalidating or just not quite carrying the pace he needs. Puff with a lock up there. He's making his way through Sector 1. Let's check in with Puff and see how he does on this run. Looking smooth through there. He's up 2/10, so that would take him to P5, perhaps. Maybe even higher if he can find another 10th or two. Looking pretty steady so far. Needs a really good exit here. Bit of a lockup, but short shift stack gets some really good traction on the exit. I think that would be carrying good pace here. A little close to the grass there, but nice turn in there. Really smooth through that chicane. That first turn-in was absolutely planted. Let's see what he can do here.
Dernya is following behind him on a lap.
That sun making it tricky on that corner, but this looks like a really solid lap from Puff. Kind of misses that apex a little bit, but as long as he gets enough pace out of this exit, he should be okay. Oh, no! Oof. Thought he was out there. You know, without that mistake, I think Puff's in the 19s, so he's got to be really frustrated with that.
He's going to have to hustle it, though, to get back around and get in.
I don't think he's going to. He's not going to get back out, and he needs a new wing now. Oh, Dernya into the barrier. A lot of people spinning tonight. This is pretty crazy. Dernya, now he's heading into the pits, so that's kind of good news for him.
He had invalidated that lap before he got there.
But yeah, Puff damaging his wing, so even if he wanted to do another run, he's not going to be able to. With that wing damage, he's going to have to really hustle to get back out there. How much longer does he have? He's got
3 minutes now left in the session.
He's going to have to be a minute turnaround with that horrendously slow pit crew. I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see. we'll check in with him briefly. Let's check in some other drivers.
About
We got
to cross the line.
Ryan about to cross the line
P5.
to finish a lap. On board with Ryan, 20.3 for Ryan, so up into P9. Not great. Definitely going to be looking for more there. Scavney on a lap. Yeah, let's ride with Scavney for now. We also have a Renault. Is that Doth on an out lap at the front there. Yeah, so Puff just heading into the pit entry now.
This one get held up by his teammate.
No, he might just get out, but it's going to be really nip and tuck.
It's going to be close, yeah.
If he's on track with a minute 30, I think he'll be okay, but it's got to be quick here.
Tight.
Very, very quick. Scavney.
So far... Oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying, we're on board with Scavney here in Sector 2. He's way down on his time. He's got the battery turned down, actually, so he must be on an in-lap or maybe going for another flyer. Not sure what he's doing there. He is not on a flyer at the moment, though. And we got Packer staying in the pits, it looks like, for the end of quality, unless he's about to leave. Zenith just heading out. Ferrari just heading out, so maybe there is time. Puff needs to get out, like, now. Is he going to? I don't think he is. Puff's done,
invalidated his lap at turn 1.
Oh, so unfortunate. Doth struggling again. Puff, too, just not having a great session here. I think Puff just leaving the pit lane now. Yeesh. No way he's making it out.
Jav is about to start a lap. It looks like he might be the one of the first. There's a train behind him who are all starting laps.
Let's check in with Jav. Who do we got back there behind him? That would be Packer, I believe.
Yeah,
no, Camden, actually.
Too far behind.
It's Camden behind, and then Packer somewhere behind them. Puff is out there. There's no way he's going to make it around in time, though.
Looks like Doth's going to be able to make it back around to get one more, but he'll have taken an extra life out of the tire, an extra lap of life
Puff.
out of the tires.
Ooh, Puff in a very precarious position there. I was just checking in to see where he was. If he was going to make it around in time, and he's gotten in the way of one of the AlphaTauris there. He went off the road to get out of the way of one car, and then must have not seen the other car coming. That was pretty dicey stuff there. Jav, though, getting a good lap on the board here, hopefully. See what he could do. Scavney's out. And he's in the okay, in the pits. Jav making his way to the penultimate corner. One final sweeping right-hander. He needs to get on that power nice and early. See if he can carry this momentum to the line and bring him up into the top 10, perhaps. No, he cannot. 121.5, so he's a little off the pace at the moment. I believe Camden behind him on the road. Camden crossing line. 19.7 for Camden. Jumps up into third. That's a good place for him to be starting from. Packer making his way around. He's got a purple sector here. We got Doth. Is it Doth on a run? He is, and he's up a bit. So... Puff
and
done.
He's invalidated through 11.
And he's out. There he goes.
He had invalidated through 11, and it looks like he just kind of gave up on the lap. But Sam!
Yeah, big wobble for Sam there. Everyone's struggling here tonight. They must all be using the same setup, and it must be for Monaco or something. I don't know what is going on here.
For Monza, this doesn't look like anybody has much grip.
Yeah.
In speed corners.
Yeah.
And Durnia has invalidated his lap. He ran wide at turn 13.
Zenith on a run. He's about to cross. He's invalidated too. So Zenith, that's it, I think. I don't think anybody else is going to improve. I think was one of the only ones who really improved on this last run. Durnia.
Killer Blue was retired with like 12 minutes left in the session, and he still finished P2.
Yeah, Packer improves by 0.2, so 18.7 for Packer. Class of the field again. Great lap from him. So pole position for Packer. Killer Blue takes P2, Camden P3, Felipe P4, Zenith P5. And we also have Beck, Zem, Doth, Sam, and Ryan all starting in the top 10 on those softs. Everybody else behind them, GXW, T-Money, Maverick, Puff, Scavney, Durnia, Jav, and Eric all have tire choice. That's it. Quali is done. That was a fast qualifying session. Gotta say, it goes a little bit... Yeah, it was very eventful. Time seems to go by quicker with another guy in the booth.
Well, you can It's a lot easier to keep track. I mean, with 18 cars and guys going on outlaps and who's setting faster times, and it's a lot to keep track of. So
Yeah, absolutely. I get distracted quite easily as well, so it's nice to have an extra guys there. I don't think because it's very easy to lose track of the drivers. It's just nice to have someone to bounce ideas off of, and just general discussion. Because talking to yourself week in, week out. Wouldn't say it's not the worst thing ever.
I did EU for almost an entire season, so
yeah, it's not awful. Like I do enjoy doing it solo, but it's like a whole different ball game with another person in here. So we'll run you through the order again quickly. Packer takes P1, Killer Blue P2, rhymes. Camden takes P3, Felipe P4, Jinnit is 5th, Beck 6th, Zem is 7th, 8th place for Doth, Sam P9, Ryan P10. Everybody else outside the top 10 will have their choice of tires to start the race. So GXW P11, T-Money P12, Alt Maverick P13, starting right ahead of his Tier 2 Season 4 rival Puff Digital. Puff Digital P14, Scabney P15, Durnia P16, Jav 17, and Eric is P18. Eric with a very big moment there in qualifying.
I don't think he'll finish the race there. I think he'll move up.
Yeah, no, Eric's pretty quick. I imagine he gets a point if he keeps it on the road.
Yep.
But yeah,
reverse strategy here will be pretty good. So
just crazy. Like I'm on board with him, like riding on board with his entire lap, and then the corner I'm like saying, well, we're probably gonna see some people losing here, and then he goes and crashes himself into the barrier. So it's been a while since something like that's happened.
Yeah. Who do you like in the race?
For the dub?
For anything. What's some general predictions?
Well, I need to see the grid again because I forget who's where. But if I had to make a prediction, Packer will win the race. I know it's ballsy to say that, but Packer will probably win. He might make a questionable strategy call that we'll be scratching our heads about, but he'll probably prove us wrong. Does that week in, week out. I don't know. I mean, Felipe, I think P4 has pace to be P2. Killer Blue, I think it's gonna be a good scrap between those two actually. For second. I mean, to be honest with you, they might even be quicker than Packer. We don't know because neither of them actually got another time on the board, right? So
yeah,
we could see a nice little scrap at the front here, three ways. Puff is readied up, so we're pretty much ready to go racing here. Get the formation lap underway. Let me think here. Who's outside the top 10 that probably should be in the top 10?
I mean, Eric for sure.
Eric, yeah.
I think
Durnia didn't qualify. Did he even get a lap on the board?
Not sure. I know Maverick, I think, was like P12, so he might, with the reverse strategy here, will be pretty strong.
Yeah, Durnia's P16, so I'm thinking, I see Durnia gets a top 6 finish from P16.
Ooh, top 6?
Yeah.
All right, I like that.
Have you seen his race pace? I mean,
yes, no, I have.
Yeah. I mean,
just
I know.
overtaking his stuff. So that's
it is, but strategy, everybody in that top 10's on the softs, and Durnia, I'm assuming
he chose to start on the softs, so he must be liking his chances to overtake early in the race.
GXW and those hards in P11. He might be a bit of a cork in the bottle for the whole field there, but that also could pay off massively if he can hang on that top 10.
Yeah, I think so. I think it'll be interesting to see what Eric's pace is like on the hards. If he can just, he'll have the flexibility starting last where he can just
take your time,
deep into the race and take advantage of a safety car. So if there's a safety car that comes out like lap 17 or something like that, he'll be in I think hopefully in a good position if he can stay close to the rest of the field, if there's not too much of a
Hello to the chat. We got Relentless Nolan, Jav in there, GP Colin, Denmark. Welcome everybody. Let's get things underway for round 10 here. We're officially halfway through the season now, so this is the second half of the season kicking off. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting, I think, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's something I've been saying. I've said it in the past, you know, like, if you're starting last, slap the hard tires on, and because, you know, JXW on the hards in P11, it's a little more risky because if you're in the middle of the field, if you get caught up in an incident, your strategy is absolutely out the window. It's
or if you lose touch to the guys in front, and
yeah, that too.
You're very vulnerable to the cars behind. So
exactly.
For JXW, he's gonna need to stay in the DRS after the first few laps. Then I think he's got an okay chance if he can keep touch to the guys on the softs, which will be hard because he's on the hard tires and they're not great around here.
No. But it's a tricky situation because he's going to have to fight, you know what I mean? Like, he really has to fight with those tires now, and it puts him in a bit of an odd spot where it's a lot more risky, whereas Eric doesn't have to take any chances. He can just take his time on the opening lap or two and then slowly close in once he gets his tires primed up, right?
Yep.
So, I think Eric could do really well from P18 there.
Yeah, the start for the first 2 rows is going to be super important.
Yeah, we're going to get things fired up here. Should see the session just reset. There it goes. Packer on pole, Killer Blue in second, Camden in third. We have all 5 lights on. It is round 10, and we are racing here in Australia. It looks like a very good start for Killer Blue. Yes, he is alongside Packer into turn 1. Can he get the place? It's very tight. Ooh, they nearly touch. Packer nearly leaves the track there, but oh, we got an incident behind. Yeah, looks like perhaps a Mercedes. Yeah, Jinnit has gone around. I don't know what's going on behind. Looks like Jinnit at the back. Well, he's ghosted or something. There's some sort of timing issue, perhaps. We got some cars wheel to wheel, though. The Red Bulls duking it out with Doth right on their tail. Puff has made up a few places here. So really, really solid start overall. I don't think anything too crazy's happened. Everybody's still in the field, and everyone's close together. So
there'll be some guys down the field who had some damage. There was kind of a domino effect. Eric had an amazing start. He took advantage of a lot of the guys from about 12th to 16th. There was some guys getting kind of wily, and he moved up a few positions. He lost one just now to Dernier. He was in 13th, but
yeah, good move.
Good start from him.
On those hard tires too, gaining a few places. So not taking the conservative approach, at least not yet. Look at this though, Felipe Massacre right on the tail of Camden Luca, applying that pressure here at the end of lap 1. We are on to lap 2, and the front 4 is already broken away here. Jinnit just a little bit adrift, and the rest of the field in very tight. Let's check in back here. There's some closer gaps. We got Puff, Dernier, Eric, Maverick, Beck, Jav, all very close together. Nothing yet, though. We have that DRS activated, and we'll probably see a little more action for the overtakes. It's probably just a little bit tough here without the DRS. Shorter straights. Not a lot of great opportunities for overtaking here without DRS. Someone in the pits, Sam, has pit.
Sam, he had damage.
Yeah, so he's going to put those hards on. I don't know if they can go to the end. Probably not a great idea anyway.
No, it'll be touch and go. You can, if there's a lap 1 safety car, you can sometimes take the hards. But that's with the advantage of the safety car laps, which she won't get.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably would have just put the mediums on if I was him. Just like, I don't think the hards are going to the end, so just to be safe. Here comes Felipe, though. Camden's made a mistake, and Felipe is through. So Felipe up into P3 after crashing out in the quali session. Gets that place back from Camden, who snatched it away while he was disheveled and broken at the side of the track. Alt Maverick applying the pressure here to Eric, though. Eric on those hards, still trying to get some temps into those tires, and Maverick really on his tail. And then they got Beck on the softs just behind as well. Here comes Maverick. Closing. No DRS yet. We'll get it on this lap, though. So he's going to have a really good shot at Eric by the end of this one. And let's get back up to the front here. Dernier and Scavney. There goes Dernier through. Or is it Scavney perhaps making the move there?
No, it was
Dernier defending.
moving up.
That's what I would imagine with the softs. He is picking his way through the field. Doth, whoop, picking up a little bit of grass. They're doing some landscaping here in Australia. He's trying to close on Ryan here, apply some pressure to him. T-Money up into P9 on the mediums, looking like a good candidate for a nice race there as well. JXW on the hards in P10, applying pressure to T-Money, so he's sitting in a really great spot. Everyone just taking their time through that little chicane now with that heavy fuel load. JXW almost loses out to T-Money there. I'm not sure if that was in a move. Oh, there it is. Durnia making a move here.
I think T-Money lost it coming out of 12.
Oh, there goes T-Money. Off the road there, and he's under threat from Scavney now, too. Scavney, T-Money wheel to wheel.
Scavney's going to get it on traction here. He's got the line.
Yeah, T-Money just...
Puff will come in and take a spot from T-Money also.
Yes, here comes
He's
Puff.
gaining on him, using his overtake, going down the inside.
Oh, they touch. Oh, T-Money off the track a bit, but Puff gets the play.
Oh,
there was
Puff's
Puff.
around.
Puff has spun. He's lost his front wing, and misery again for Puff Digital out there.
Safety car, full safety car.
Is somebody out, or is it just the damage?
No, I think the
just
damage
the wings.
from Puff.
Yeah, the wing on track. So that's actually going to help Puff quite a bit. He's super lucky he got a safety car there. I mean, obviously he doesn't want to be spinning and falling into the back of the grid, but who else does this help? The guys on hards, the guys on softs. And he probably consider pitting. I don't know how long these tires are supposed to last, but
if I was on softs, I'd pit right now and go for hards and run to the end.
Yeah, I would
what's going to hurt is it's going to hurt
the medium guys,
the Haas drivers, because they're right next to each other, and it's going to hurt the Red Bull drivers because they're right next to each other.
That's a good point. No double stacking in Codemaster games.
Oh, you can. It's just a lot slower.
Yeah, I just mean like they don't even do it right at all. Like they're like, oh, we'll just mosey on into the garage and go pick up our tires once again. So is Felipe gonna pit too? He does. Yep, he has to really.
Puff will be able to be fine. Yeah.
Felipe pretty much has to pit. Like even if you lose the time, it's still beneficial. I don't know if Felipe was a little slow there going into the pit lane. Was he trying to hold up the guys behind? Maybe. Looked a little bit egregious in my opinion, but I don't know. It was pretty fast too. Like it all happened fast. So I'm not too sure.
Yeah. Doth deciding to stay out.
Packer actually only lost like 3 places there. I don't know how he pulled that off.
They had a decent lead, and the safety car came out pretty early.
So pretty much the entire field is pit now. Definitely Puff would have to pit. Beck's got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Puff definitely has to pit, get that wing fixed. And he's onto the hard, so Puff going to the end. Sam. Can Puff get back out in front of Sam? No, he can't. So Puff right to the back, but at least he's salvaged his race here with the safety car, because he was... If there was no safety car there, I think he was pretty much done for. Stick a fork in him. It's definitely not time to get digital. Not after that. We'll have to wait another week to get digital. Never know. I mean, crazier things have happened. Anything could happen from this point, but...
Yeah. Interesting. The top 3 drivers on soft, hard, and medium. Doth choosing not to pit. JX starting on hards. I'm not surprised to see him stay out because...
It makes sense.
What's he going to do? I'm kind of surprised Scavney stayed out, but... I guess we'll see how it shakes out for them, but Packer's in obviously a very good position. Beck didn't pit, but still came up behind Packer. I wonder if he'll pit now.
Alright, let's check in the stops real quick. We got 8 seconds of penalties for Beck and 3 for Puff. Yeah, so Beck no pit, Eric no pit. Makes sense though for Eric.
Yeah.
Scavney up 12 spots, Eric up 10, JX up 9, Doth up 7, obviously not pitting those guys, but nonetheless.
No, I think for someone like Doth who maybe feels like he qualified out of position in P8, he's got more pace than that, staying out, not the terrible idea. So with the field bunched up again, there's going to be a higher likelihood of another safety car or VSC happening, so he'll be able to take advantage of that if the time comes, and he might be able to stretch it to run soft medium and not have to touch those hards.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a terrible decision. I mean, you're in clear air if you can. I mean, in theory, he should have more temp in the tire than JX and Scavney behind. JX should do a little bit of cork in the bottle action here, and Doth can hopefully scamper off and build himself a bit of a cushion.
But Packer's going to be on the hards and is going to probably struggle to overtake Scavney and JXW without DRS, so that might be enough time for Doth to gain 5-6 seconds, maybe, until DRS is opened.
I'm assuming Doth probably isn't too worried about Packer. I think he's probably more focused on finishing ahead of the rest of the guys because...
Well, he was trailing the Red Bulls, and they're in 11th and 12th right now.
Yeah, all these other guys on the hards are going to be pretty slow at the end of the race, and Doth's going to end up on a fresh set of mediums. And, you know, like you said, it is tough to overtake here, so we could see a lot of the cars sort of bunching up for this whole stint, really, and then Doth comes out at the back of them with fresh mediums and just starts picking his way through. Could work out. Safety car in this lap, so...
Can all change in a lap, though, so
absolutely.
We'll have to just wait and see.
Yeah. Doth now Hoist leading the pack. Beck a little bit behind there. He kind of needs to close up. But yeah, Doth is going to get this race underway once more.
Interesting. Zamaglis pit and put on the softs. I don't know if he made a mistake or if he thinks he's going to be going now soft, medium. It's interesting to see what strategy he goes for because he's going to have to pit again. One, because the softs will melt by the end of the race, and two, because he's only got to run a different tire.
It's going to be interesting. He's just banking on another safety car because, I mean, really, there wasn't even a DNF there, and we got a safety car. JXW, with no temperature in those hards, almost lost it on the exit of that corner. Scavney under threat from Packer already, and Doth scampers away in the lead. Let's see if Packer can find a way through. No, he cannot. We got a couple cars close behind here. Camden taking a peek, it looked like, but nothing doing for him. Wait, Scavney's made a mistake and Packer is through.
Yep.
Scavney is off, it looks like. Yeah. Oh, there's Killer Blue and Beck have touched. They're both off the road. They both, I think both just wobbled in the braking zone and took each other out there. There was really no party at fault, in my opinion. I saw just the tail end of it, but it looked like they just kind of touched wheels and both lost traction.
Yeah.
Comes Jinnit now on Scavney. Scavney really struggling with those tires on the restart. Jinnit has picked him off now too. And, well, he runs onto the grass again, Scavney. That is not going to help generate temperatures. He's really struggling here. Eric all the way up into P6 now on those hard tires. So Eric looking pretty good on the first stages of the race after having a big moment in quali and crashing through the exit of this corner here. Let's see if Eric can capitalize on that. We got Puff about to make a move on Sam, it looks like. Puff around the outside on Sam. They're wheel to wheel. And Puff with a big lockup. Oh, looks like a bit of contact even. Maybe just a twitch there from Puff, but he's lost out to Beck now as well. Oh, Beck with a huge tank slapper there. Nearly loses the car. Big lockup as well. Puff gets a really solid exit in comparison. Puff might get a run on Beck down the straight here, but no, Beck using those soft tires gets a really nice exit. So nothing in it there. Well, we got an incident. We got some kind of incident up here. Cars have gone round.
Involved.
Yeah. Comes Ryan looking to make a move. Sends it down on the Alpha.
Oh, somebody's out.
Oh,
somebody's out. Beck is out.
You saw his car twitching around a lot. That's going to be another safety car, surely. Virtual safety car. How do you figure that? This game makes no bloody sense.
I don't understand.
We got a front wing on track, and they call it the whole safety car. Puff must have paid off the stewards or something. But
must have.
Yeah, and we get a full car disabled, and it's a VSC. Go figure. Anyways. Yeah, there's all kinds of action
pulling
there.
Away like I would have expected. JX is hanging on there.
No, JX is in a pretty solid spot here as well. Like, even if Packer gets by, you can just kind of sit there and chase him up the road, and you'll be fine. Looks like we might be going racing again in a moment. Yes, we are. There goes Doth. Still leading the pack for the time being. He's got JX and Packer for company. We got Maverick and Ryan chasing down Scavney here. Yeah, all kinds of incidents here. We haven't really had too many clean laps of racing at this point. There goes Scabney into the pits. Done with his mediums already. Maybe picked up some damage in that incident there. Any action behind? We got DRS now. Does
Yep,
not
they are
look
changing
like it.
his front wing.
Yeah, I was going to say,
It
I
looks
think
like Zamoglis is also getting a new front wing.
Comes Durnia applying some pressure to Ryan right on his gearbox. Trying to chip away there, the lone Ferrari in the field today. His teammate, Mr. Joshua, taking the night off. We got former Ferrari driver GP Colin enjoying a whiskey in the chat.
Ooh, Team Money goes
tired,
deep, and he's going to lose a position.
You see Team Money in the background there getting picked off by Killer Blue. We're still looking at this battle here with Ryan and Durnia. Camden right on him as well. And we also got Felipe closing in on Eric up at the front. So, trying to figure out which battle to watch. I guess we'll watch Eric and Felipe for now. And we'll jump to the other pack behind. So, yeah, Felipe really hounding Eric here. I think he might get by on this lap. Really good exit there for Felipe. Oh, he's right on his tail. A little bit of a wobble, but still gets a lot of good traction. And with that DRS and that Ferrari power down the inside, sweeps across and gets the place from Eric. Do we have any action behind here? No, we do not. Packer, though, sends it on JXW and gets through. So Packer through. Jinnit hanging on to those guys. Jinnit on a fresh set of mediums, hanging out at the front while everybody else is trailing off behind. So Felipe should start closing in on these guys at the front now. See how long it takes him to catch up.
It's quite a big gap.
Yeah, it is. Jinnit with those mediums benefiting him. I guess he's probably going to go to the softs at the end.
I would guess so too. I don't think the mediums will last.
No. I doubt it.
It's going to go for it on JXW though.
Here he comes.
On the inside.
They're wheel to wheel, JX and Jinnit, and JX with a bit of a lockup.
Ooh,
Jinnit
ran deep. JX is going to get him on the switchback.
No, not quite.
Uses the space, but doesn't have the grip.
Yeah, Jinnit
just, fair play to him. He left the space there on the inside.
Yeah, he left plenty of room, and I just think he's got a little more grip on those fresher mediums than the older hards at the moment. Definitely a better tire to be on. Oh, Durnia and Ryan wheel to wheel here. Durnia all over. Oh, big moment for Durnia in that dirty air. Nearly loses it. Can he close to make an attempt at an overtake? He's got Camden applying some pressure behind as well. No, he's not close enough. So Ryan defends that place. If it wasn't for that wobble from Durnia, I think
Killer
Durnia
Blue
gets
got
through
a
there.
great exit, using a lot of overtake. He's going to make a move on Camden.
Killer Blue sending it on Camden. They're wheel to wheel.
Durnia locks up.
And they're wheel to wheel ahead as well. We got 4 cars side by side through that corner.
Wow.
And yeah, very
Killer
good
Blue
racing
makes
here.
the move stick on Camden.
Doth under pressure from Packer at the front as well. So strategy decision not paying off at the moment. Looks like he's really not getting as much of a gap as he needs to really execute things well here. Probably could benefit from a safety car at this stage now, but
yep, any sort of safety car VSC, he's not. I mean, he's not going to retain the lead because Packer just got by him.
No, Packers going to get him anyway.
Any sort of safety car VSC, and he'll stay in maybe in the top 5. He can get a cheap pit stop. So,
yeah, absolutely, and he'll be on a really good set of
I imagine he'll hang it
tires.
out on those softs for a few more laps, just see what happens before he concedes and pits for the mediums.
He should definitely be able to get the mediums to the end from this stage, though. I would figure. I mean, if he can go 12 on the soft, you should be able to do 17 on the mediums, right?
Yeah, a couple more laps though because of the safety car.
Yeah. Comes Jinnit as well, getting by Doth. Very nice move from Jinnit there. Just missed that. Durnia looking like it got a really good exit on Ryan. Ryan's got that DRS to defend with. Can he send it on the braking? No, he cannot. So Durnia sits behind for another lap. But Ryan makes a big mistake there. Durnia with that switchback might have a really nice exit here. See if he can get him through this long sweeping right-hander. Oh, it's so close. Durnia right on the tail of Ryan, and he's got Killer Blue applying the pressure as well. Some really great racing action here. Week in, week out, we seem to have really good scraps down in the P8, 9, 10 positions. Everybody fighting for only a handful of points, but they're fighting tooth and nail for them. And just ahead, Maverick is starting to come under pressure from these guys as well. So, see, really good scrap going on here for P7 in a moment.
There's a big train from P7. All the gaps are a second, or less than a second, until P12. So if any one of those drivers makes a mistake or has an off, they're going to be losing potentially several positions.
Yeah, absolutely. Off into the pits finally. So definitely going to those mediums. We'll see where he pans out. He might come out right at the back of this little scrap here. This could work out nicely for Doth. I guess he's going to be a little ways off it, but he should be able to close in and benefit from them all fighting with each other.
Yeah, but he has gone
like
to the mediums, so
Sam goes by, and then Doth going to be in some clear air there. So Doth and clear air on a fresh set of mediums should take a lot out of these guys. There goes Durnia. We got a yellow flag, though. Who is that?
and Puff had a... No?
Yeah. Oh, Durnia nearly loses the car there. He just caught it. Snap of oversteer, corrected it. Really tough running in this dirty air, but this is, again, Maverick. Sitting in the front of a train. He put on a really good defensive drive last week, holding guys off, and see if he can do it again here.
I'll be interested to see is if Jinnit can close up to Packer, because if Packer can drop DRS to Jinnit, then only a safety car really is going to screw up his race, because he's going to be fine to the end on tires, and Jinnit can get ahead of him now. He might be able to defend.
Yeah, Jinnit's going to have to pit again, though, probably, right?
I don't know.
Gotta figure.
You would have to think, yeah.
Puff on 2-lap-old mediums. He must have pit again. Did he have another incident at the back?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's tough sledding out there for Puff. Oh, big moment for Ryan. He's really under pressure now. Durnia probably going to get this place, though. They are close wheel to wheel. Can Ryan fight it back? He hangs it on the outside. Oh, he's on the grass. Durnia really pressuring him, but he couldn't get the place. They're still wheel to wheel. See if Ryan can hang it on the outside once more. Durnia this time doesn't leave as much room, but just enough, and he gets the place finally. Really great job from Durnia there, and here comes Killer Blue. Killer Blue now wheel to wheel with Ryan. Ryan getting picked apart here on this lap, and late on the brakes somehow keeps the place.
Oh.
That is very dicey. Whew. That is some excellent racing here. Here comes Camden. Oh, Ryan just slams the door shut on Killer Blue there. Says, no, sir, not today. Ryan defending his heart out.
Killer Blue can stay through 11-12.
This is a tricky place to make an overtake. Oh, man, look how close these cars
Ryan's
are.
picked up a time penalty, too, trying to defend.
Oh, this is amazing stuff here. Just watching 4 cars go through that corner. No one faltering one bit. Oh, man, that was some great stuff. Nose to tail through that high-speed chicane. Oh, Camden nearly into the back of Killer Blue there. We got another yellow, I believe.
Jav,
yeah.
Spin.
Virtual safety car.
Oh, it's a couple laps late for Doth.
For Doth, yeah. I was going to say, Jinnit could benefit from this, but it will probably be done by the time Jinnit gets back around, so nobody really going to get anything from this. Maybe
Jav, but he's going to have to change his wing anyway.
Yeah. No, it'll be over before anybody can actually get a benefit from it. Felipe is finally caught up to the front runners, though. He's right on the tail of JXW now. We're busy watching this action back here with Ryan. And we are racing again, and on the restart, Killer Blue right back where he was on that gearbox. Trying to claw his way by. Durnia did really well on the restart. Got a nice little gap to Ryan there.
Felipe Massacre very close to the back of JXW, who hasn't pit yet.
Yeah. Here comes Killer Blue. Applying that pressure. Oh! Both guys off! Killer Blue and Camden. Both guys lost the car through that corner. It must have been on the restart with the slightly colder tires. They just didn't have the grip they needed. I'm not sure if there was contact, but both guys it looked like both their cars did the exact same thing, and they both went into the wall. So, man, Camden did not need that. With Lando out of the not even racing tonight, he needs to maximize his points haul, especially with Packer in the lead here. And he's gone and had an incident and thrown away a potential gain on Lando, and possibly might lose a huge chunk to Packer here too. And Felipe has made it by JXW. We just saw that on the camera there.
Yeah, I just went back and rewatched it on the stream, and it's hard to tell if there was contact. I'm sure we'll see onboards after the race, but it was tough to tell.
Yeah, it looked like they followed, who was it? Ryan. They had followed Ryan through the chicane, and I was thinking with the slightly cooler tires in the dirty air, maybe they just both lost it. Because obviously Camden would have had to react at a pretty high speed to an incident from Killer. If Killer had messed up, then Camden reacting surely is going to lose the car, because you're right on the knife edge through that corner every lap, and any slight change or variation to your steering input, throttle or braking, whatever it is, like, it's so easy to just put the car around. Mm-hmm. The weird part is they lost it after the first part of the chicane, not the second. Usually it's the second part that does people in.
Yep. Well, that's what makes me think there might have been contact, because normally it's either the inside or exit curb of 12 that gets you, not usually 11.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
Sam.
Still just want to point out that JXW and Eric in 4th and 5th still need to pit.
Yeah, they're going to be able to go to the softs now at this stage.
Yeah, they'll be able to go to the softs, but they're going to have to... I don't know. They're going to come out pretty far down. So the likes of Ryan, Maverick, Durnia, Doth, T-Money, all of them are probably going to gain 2 positions.
Comes Camden making a move on Puff here. Fresher tires should get the place he does. So Durnia applying pressure to Maverick here, and Sam on really old hards is giving Doth a hard time on the mediums. So Sam's going to have to pit, though, so Doth probably not terribly concerned with defending that place at the moment.
With Jimmett still to pit, with JX and Eric still to pit, this battle with Maverick and Durnia and Ryan could be for that 3rd podium spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Although we don't, you know what, Sam doesn't have to pit. He actually could go to the end, but I'm just suspecting that he won't make it to the end on those hards. Like, he'd be going 28 laps on them.
Yeah, because he pit lap 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't imagine those will last and still be competitive. Durin, you're going for it now. Locks up a little bit, leaves space. Maverick backed out of it. I think Maverick maybe could have stuck it in there and hung around the outside, but just backed out a little bit. Now Durnia, potentially, that was a overtake for a podium.
Well,
how the rest of the race plans out.
Didn't I call this? I said top 6, and you were like, top 6, that's madness. And I'm like, here we are.
Well, that was before all the safety cars.
I mean, I totally knew those were going to happen. I mean, if you're going to bet on a safety car anywhere, this is probably one of the tracks for it. Surprised the second one was only a VSC, in all honesty.
Monaco or Singapore.
Yeah, like this has got to be a top 5 safety car track.
Baku. Actually,
nowhere to
I
go.
would bet Baku over here, though.
Yeah, definitely. Especially the castle section.
Yeah, top 5 for sure. It's kind of a weird mix of like a street circuit and like a track. I mean, it is a street circuit technically, but it's got some elements of almost like the Hungaroring of like.
Yeah, it's not as street circuity as most are. Like, it's a little bit more of a racetrack than most street circuits. Kind of like Canada.
Yeah, similar.
Canada's kind of a street circuit by rights as well, but I mean, in the summertime, or not in the summertime, but like the rest of the year when that's not being used as a racetrack, it's either a festival ground or a park. It's more of like an exercise park than it is like a road that's used. Whereas the streets of Monaco are literally like the streets of Monaco.
Yeah, with Baku and everything too.
Yeah, exactly. Singapore as well.
There's a yellow flag for Jav. He's going around at 11-12, so struggling a little bit around Albert Park, but
yeah, gap's starting to form now. Jinnit, though, still hanging on to Packer. He's showing some pretty good pace at the front, even though he's on a little bit better of a tire. Like, Jinnit is staying in the DRS range of Packer, and that's helping his race massively. He has, what, I mean, a 10-second... He might come out around
where Ryan is, and with all the penalties of the guys like Felipe and Durnia and Maverick, he's not out of contention here.
No, absolutely not. I mean, he's like those gaps aren't huge by any means, and we know Eric and JX got a pit, so Jinnit comes out on fresh softs. He could easily push for that podium place.
Yeah, JX is the first of those guys who's going to be pitting for soft. Eric follows in.
They're both pitting, yeah,
as well.
Scabby dropped. Okay.
Jinnit hasn't gone in yet. If he's going to be going to the softs,
I think he's just he's getting the DRS from Packer. It'd be kind of hard to just give that up right now, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to get that kind of a toe anywhere else, so it's probably worth it. I mean, he's going to slide out a DRS here probably on this lap, and I think that will be sort of the deciding factor here. He's got JX and Eric pitting to the softs now. Jinnit kind of needs to dive in on this lap to cover those guys off. I wouldn't say they're in necessarily clear air, but they're obviously going to be much quicker than they were on the hard, so Jinnit probably time to pull the trigger. It was kind of hard to give up that DRS to Packer, too. He's look at the gap he's got, though, to even, like, I mean, if he comes out, he should come out right around Ryan, I feel. Ryan or Maverick.
How much time do you lose around here? 22 seconds, something like that?
I always just say 20 roughly, and then, up to 25 perhaps. So I think, if you do the math, he's right there with Ryan, I think. Jinnit dives in, yes, does. Dives into the pits, and it's going to be on for Jinnit here. He's got to be fighting for a podium here towards the end of the race. He's got 8 laps on those softs to get it done. No time penalties either. He's doing pretty well here today. Let's see what he can do. He's out of his pit box. We see Durnia and Maverick making their way around the final corner. Maverick gets good traction. They're probably going to get by Jinnit, but I think Jinnit's going to come out in front of Ryan here.
Ryan's just coming along the start-finish straight now, just passing
Jinnit. So Jinnit comes out in clear air on a fresh set of softs, and he's only got. What has he got to get? 4 or 5 seconds. Jab is out. He's crashed, I believe. Could see a safety car. VSC.
VSC. Oh,
just a little too late for Jinnit. Yeah, a little too late for Jinnit there, but this will actually help him warm his tires up a little bit. He can actually put a little bit of load through them and then go on a charge here. At least it's not a full safety car, because Jinnit's cushion actually really benefits him nicely. If he got a full safety car, it would kind of ruin his opportunity here, because he'd be stuffed right. It put him closer to the front. It actually would if there was a full safety car, Jinnit actually might win the race. So
he could.
I don't think, obviously, drive through for Ryan. So Jinnit going to be released big time now. Drive through for Ryan. Yeah, but I mean, Jinnit's not going to be under pressure whatsoever here. The guy behind him's got to go for a drive-through penalty now. He's only got to chip away 3.5 seconds from Maverick on old hards, who's right behind Durnia on old hards. That podium is definitely within reach.
Both of them with time penalties.
Yeah, Jinnit ran a really great strategy here today. All he has to do is convert it, and he's got a podium in the bag. See what he can do here. Already
Eric
taking
and JXW, who pitted for softs, are making their way up.
Like every corner, Jinnit's taking 10s out of Maverick here. So Ryan pitting, serving that drive-through.
It's really unfortunate. He was on for a great result, too.
Yeah, it's super unfortunate. That's going to put Puff. Puff's pretty far away, actually. I was going to say Puff in the points positions, perhaps, but no. A little too far. So, where's our intervals gone? Durnia just sort of leaving Maverick behind, though. You gotta say, sure, Jinnit's gonna get by Maverick and Durnia and go take a podium, but Maverick finishing P5 is a hell of a result for him. Like, that's probably his best result so far in Tier 1. I think he'll be really happy with a P5 here. If he's smart, he won't fight Jinnit too much, and maybe Dernier will
Gained
squabble.
9 positions in this race, too. Dernier's gained 13.
Yeah. If Dernier squabbles with Jinnit for too long, it could bring Maverick right into play to potentially attack Dernier as well. So, probably in Maverick's best interest just to sort of let Jinnit through in a sort of gentlemanly fashion, and then try to hang on to his gearbox and see if he can get pulled up the road a little bit here. I'd imagine he's not going to fight this too hard. Here comes Jinnit down the inside. Yes, he does get through.
And setting fastest lap, too, so that'll be another point.
Yeah, Jinnit looking strong here. Packer...
If he can, he's got to avoid
You know
penalty.
what, Packer... I was going to say, Packer could pit to try and do fastest lap. If he's going to, he needs to do it now, because Jinnit is going to have that gap covered in moments. Like, any moment, Jinnit is within the window, so then Packer now has to overtake him again. So if I were Packer, I wouldn't pit for that 1 point. Personally, I wouldn't, but knowing Packer, I'm surprised if he sits out there either. I don't know. Yeah, well, you know what? He might not get back in front of Felipe, though.
No, I don't think he's going to risk it. 9 seconds.
Yeah. Those guys the guys behind are a little too close to, you know, like maybe get back in front of Jinnit, but are you going to get back to the lead? That's what's more important, right?
Yeah. No, he's going to, this is going to be the most points he's going to be able to get.
Yeah, I agree.
But, yeah, interesting. T-Money has really hung on. T-Money and Maverick, Dernier and Felipe too, but T-Money and Maverick doing a good job in hanging on to those hard tires for so long as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And Sam as well, hanging on to a points place at the moment on those really old hards. Pretty much got to go to the end now. And he might as well, as Ryan on old hards isn't going to give him too much trouble.
He's got nothing to lose, and drivers around him all are at similar amount of penalties or more than him, so...
Yeah. Maverick actually does have penalties, though, so that's going to hurt him in his battle with Dernier, even if he gets back to the front there. So now Jinnit probably isn't going to catch Felipe. Probably isn't. So he doesn't really need to do anything desperate here to get by Dernier. He can kind of just let Dernier use up his battery and make the move when it makes sense. He doesn't have to really pressure too much.
Yeah.
11 seconds.
A lot of his batteries, so.
Puff is out.
Oh, VSC.
Puff has lost it on the final corner, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure who's back there at the moment. It's got to be Zem. Let's see if we can get a shot. Yeah, Puff lost it on the final turn. So Puff out. His miserable day becomes even worse, and the struggles for Puff Digital continue. We're going to have to wait.
See, that surprises me that Packer is now. Yeah, Packer's driving into the pits now to go for fastest lap. I was going to say, we were talking about it in him, you know, losing out on the top couple positions, but now with the VSC, he's going to go for fastest lap. So. Yeah,
it looks like Felipe is going to get by. Dernier will not, though. So Packer really only has to overtake one car and a fresh set of softs now.
And Felipe's got a penalty, so as long as he gets within 3 seconds.
Yeah, good point. Should be going racing any moment here. Usually these aren't too long.
Looks like Doss gambled to stay out on the softs on the first VS or the first safety car. Not quite working out for him, but Eric does pick up a drive-through penalty. Poor Eric.
Oh man, he's cost himself dearly. So Sam probably going to get a point here then. Yeah.
Yeah, bad quality for Eric. Fantastic race up until this moment. So.
Yeah, you got to remember these hard tires don't hold the temperature very well under low speeds either. So Dernier is probably going to be under threat here from Jinnit. This is Jinnit's best chance to just take a charge and go for it, especially down this straight here. Gets a really good exit. He can probably get the move done. Again, there's really not much to fight for at the front for Jinnit. This is pretty much the best he's going to do is getting by Dernier. So there it goes.
Dernier is
Jinnit
hanging
with that move.
Though.
Yeah, I was going to say, with that extra traction, warmer tires. Oh, Jinnit gets a penalty, though. That's okay, because Dernier has one as well.
Yeah, thankfully, but...
Dernier actually has 6 seconds, so Jinnit already had that place, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Packer clean on penalties. Felipe with 3, so... I'd imagine Packer gets within 3 seconds quite easily here.
Yeah. I mean, the new softs are going to be just rapid compared to 21-year-old lap or 21 lap old hard tires.
Yeah, exactly.
He's already taken half a second out of them since final corner, and he's just now in the second.
Camden out now. Camden has crashed the car. Are we going to get a safety car here? Yeah, Camden.
I think we've hit the limit. I think we've had 5 now.
We might have, man, with the VSCs. Where's Camden lost it? Right here. We're going to see him on the right. There he is. Wow, what a bizarre place to lose the car. That is extremely strange. Zenith has made it by Dernia? Yeah, we saw that. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah,
when did that happen? Yeah. On the restart there.
Into 11-12, yeah.
Crazy stuff though. Camden absolutely
Packer
dropping
has
the
gained
ball,
almost. Man. Packer's gained almost 3 seconds on Felipe in just this lap, so I think he's already within. I mean,
just in terms of the championship fight, obviously Packer doing great work here. He's going to get the win and get 25 points over Lando, who gets 0, obviously not being here. Camden, it was all in his hands. He easily could have got at least 15 points here tonight, and he's had a miserable Grand Prix, and he's ended up not only out of the points, but he hasn't even finished the race now. And he could have gained, a solid chunk on Lando, who's well ahead of him at this stage of the championship. That's got to be extremely frustrating for Camden. He's got to be absolutely livid with himself here. We're not sure what happened in that corner there where him and Killer Blue went off together. It may have been contact. Maybe Camden had made a mistake and caused that incident as well. We're not entirely sure. But even beyond any accidents, Camden just hasn't had a great Grand Prix tonight.
And he had a decent opportunity qualifying 4th or 3rd, I think.
Yeah, I mean, even in qualifying, he didn't really look totally hooked up, did he? Because I remember we were on board with him and we were thinking the lap just didn't look all that great, did it? So maybe just an off night for Camden. Maybe not a great track for him. It's hard to say really, but bit of an opportunity out the window for him. Packer going to gain massively on him, so that's going to hurt a lot.
JXW might get by Maverick on penalties, depending on how much time he can find, but the gap is just now came under 6 seconds. It's hovering right around 5.8 or so, and Maverick has got 6 seconds in penalties, so opportunity here maybe for JX to even gain one more.
I'm not sure if Packer looked like he got caught out by a late move by Felipe or something there. I'm not sure what happened, but it looked like he was a little upset there. He was weaving behind him down the straight. Just because into the final turn, Packer got a little loose and locked up, and I was wondering if he was going for a late dive maybe down the inside, and maybe Felipe just covered it off or something. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't know if Packer was just frustrated or if he's trying to make sure his tires were nice and warm to stick it on the line there. There goes Sam out as well. Sam loses it on the penultimate corner, so Sam out of the Grand Prix. Oh, there goes Zem! Oh my lord, what an absolute nightmare. Zem has crashed out as well. I don't know, honestly. This is absolutely insane. So Scabney's going to slide up into P12 now. He's had a miserable Grand Prix, and he's like one spot out of the points.
Yeah.
This is absolutely insane. I can't believe that. 2 cars crashing out on the penultimate lap within 10 seconds of each other. That's just bizarre. Crazy stuff here. Zenith, though, driving a really excellent race tonight. He's gone up and taken a nice P3 for the time being. If he hadn't gotten that penalty, he actually may have had a crack at closing on Felipe, but a little too far away now.
But
yeah.
As good of a race as Zenith has, I mean, I don't want to curse him on the final lap, but I think Dernia's driver of the day for me, going from 12th, or gaining 12 positions in the race.
All right, Camden, I know you're frustrated, but, come on. I'm just saying. I was saying Camden, I know he's frustrated, but there's no need for that. I was just saying, I was saying we were on board with one of your laps, and it just didn't look totally hooked up. That's all I was saying. Sorry, what were you saying there, Zog?
Oh, I was going to say Dernia has had a really good race so far.
Yeah, absolutely. My prediction for the biggest gainer tonight, and he's converted, not quite the podium, but what did he gain? 12 places or something like that in the Grand Prix? Let's check in on that.
Yep, 12.
Yeah, 12 places for Durnia, so big gains for him. Even Eric, I mean, up 7 places, obviously not going to get a point, but still a nice big jump for him after having an incident in quali. Maverick gains 8 places, P5. That's a great result for Maverick. I think he's going to be really happy with that. Top 5 finish for him. Probably his best result in Tier 1 so far, but your winner today, not surprising, Packer out there takes P1, Felipe with an excellent drive in P2, and Jinnit pulls off a masterclass on the strategy, goes mediums to softs, and converts it for the podium. So nice drive from Jinnit as well. Durnia in P4, Maverick P5. Oh, no, actually, Maverick loses a place due to that penalty, so JXW gets P5, Maverick P6, so still pretty good result for Maverick. Penalties, he definitely needs to shave a little bit of time off his penalties per race. So he's picking up quite a few week in, week out. In Tier 2, he was always at the front, and even with penalties, he managed to, you know, they never really hurt him too much, but they obviously hurt a lot more when the field is this close together in Tier 1. So yeah, Maverick with a really solid drive, nonetheless. Penalties hurt him a little bit, but great drive from him. Doth as well. Tried a bit of a gamble on the strategy. Didn't quite work out for him, but still picks up P7. Not bad at all. Killer Blue, P8. Had that incident with Camden. We're not sure what happened there, if it was just bolt dirty air or Camden reacting to Killer Blue. Maybe they, you know, it's just hard to say. I only caught a little piece of that through that very tricky corner, but pretty of a crazy race. A lot of guys crashing out tonight. A lot of spins. A lot of we had a lot of incidents in quali. On track in the race. Yeah, it's just a bit of an off night for Tier 1. It was not quite the skill level we're used to seeing throughout the field. Obviously, some guys looking excellent like usual, but a lot of other guys struggling tonight.
Just an unpredictable race. I mean, from quali through the race, it was just kind of, yeah.
P5 worthy of an interview. No, Maverick. You got to get on the podium. You want to interview, get on the podium. Or at least tie for the podium or something. That'd be crazy. Imagine a tie. That would be wild. The timing and everything. But yeah, so that's Killer Blue. We left off at P8. P9 for T-Money, and Eric picks up a point in P10. Ryan, Scavney, Sam, Zem, Camden, Puff, Jav, Beck, all out of the points. A lot of DNFs. I think Sam down DNF. Yeah, Sam and Zem 3 laps down, so they DNF'd.
Yeah, they'll get qualified, but yeah, they DNF'd.
Yeah. I mean, if we had a few more DNFs, they'd actually get points technically, I think, but unfortunately they're not close enough. And that's it for round 10 Australia. We'll get the top 3 in for an interview. Who was it? Felipe, Packer, obviously, and Jinnit, right?
And Jane.
All right, let's get those in. Ah, damn it. I didn't prepare any questions. Well, I'm in the menu. I don't think anyone can hear you anyway, but Zyg's taken off, so I'm going to have to handle the interviews. Even though I haven't... Can you give me your question card in there? Pass it over. Yeah, no. Sorry, Packer, Jinnit. Yeah, take it easy. Packer, Jinnit, and Felipe. Oh, I don't have Felipe still. I better start adding him because he's pretty much here every week. Such a long name, too. There he is. All right. Interview questions. Let me just pull out my cue cards here.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Don't forget to put your mask on.
Hello, Packer. Hello, Felipe.
How
How's it
did you
going?
like the second to final corner, huh?
That was great. I love that.
I just keep you on your toes, eh?
Was that what the weaving was about? I guess we'll just dive right in.
My toes weren't the only thing out.
We were in a party chat and I said, what would you do if I just brake check right now, huh?
Mini heart attack.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw you get a little loose there, and I was like, did Felipe do something, or did Packer just kind of like think about taking a dive? I'm not really sure. But then I saw the weaving
Okay, I'm
behind.
not that dirty. I can't.
No, no.
No,
He was having a little joke. I said he can't get past, but I knew he'd go past.
Not saying you're dirty. I just mean like you were trying to like take a sneaky move down the inside line, thinking like, oh, he won't have any grip, but obviously he's covered.
He
that
is a
off,
little
so.
dirty though. I saw him take out the Nolan in the LOE at spin.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, well, obviously, someone's got the stream on. Can you just turn the volume down a little bit for me? Because I keep hearing my own voice echoing back. And
Yeah, I'm hearing it echo as well.
I don't know if it's maybe
It's probably
like
just someone's. It's probably just someone's mic.
It's got to be someone's party chat.
It's probably my mic because it's
Yeah,
happened before.
Right, the stream won't be that quick.
I'm not in the stream. The stream's off.
That's what I was
If
going to say, like, the
stream.
stream wouldn't be that instant where it would actually distract me. But,
Yeah.
anyways, Packer. Obviously, you kind of needed to have a great race tonight, you know, obviously with Lando not being here. Lando or NWB or whatever his name is now, that guy that's leading the championship. Ariel Nathan, yeah, that's it. Real Nathan, I'll just call him that. Obviously, him not being here tonight, you know, it was sort of expected that you'd go out there and pick up pole position and go out and win the race. Definitely needed to try and maximize your points haul while he's not here tonight. Looks like you succeeded with that. Was there any trouble for you out there? Any moments where you thought, I didn't have this in the bag? Were you going to pit for the softs besides that VSC? Was that just like a sort of a gift to you because you saw that you had the time?
Well, Felipe, since we already mentioned that we were in the same party, told me to, you know, pit for fastest lap. I'll give you the position, and then after the VSA, after the Visky, if we want to go back to last week, after the VSC came out, and I was already on softs and was right up behind him. He was like, "Yeah, if you pit and there was no VSC, I was gonna go flat out to the flag." I was like, "Oh, I see," but yeah. Anyways, soft.
Don't trust Felipe. He sounds dirtier than everyone.
You got to do what you can to get the win, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but anyways, I probably wasn't gonna pit for the softs if it wasn't for the VSC. But yeah, I needed the win. I needed all the points. I think I'm only leading the championship by now by 4 points to Nathan. So yeah, it's been a difficult season so far, but trying to make our way back.
Yeah, obviously great race. You did what you needed to do. You got that extra point as well. Obviously, I think Jinnit would have had it up to that point until you went in there, and Puff gave you a nice VSC there. Obviously, he was feeling a little bad for you. He wanted you to get 26 points, so he put himself out of the race for you. It's definitely not time to get digital tonight. So very rough night for him, yeah. So we'll move on to Felipe. Probably you were a little worried after that crash in quali. You thought maybe you'd be sliding down the order a little bit further, but your lap time held up pretty nicely. I think only Camden jumped you after you crashed out, so you started P4. And I think you had was it you that got the really good start there, or was that Killer Blue? Someone got a really good launch there and challenged Packer into turn 1, but he managed to hang on. Yeah, Killer had a really nice launch there. But Felipe, obviously, qualifying woes didn't hurt you too bad in the race. Were you pretty confident that you could secure the podium, or were you a little bit nervous after crashing, maybe that you would make another mistake out there during the race? How are you feeling heading into the Grand Prix?
Yeah, well, I knew that I could not get the win unless there was an incident. So I kind of just drive at like 75 to try to get a podium.
Yeah.
And hope for something. And I thought I didn't quite know what was going to happen with all the whiskies that came out all the time.
Yeah.
I didn't know whether to pit or not. So, but then they said there's been a red car. I said, for who? Chris Kamara, and I don't know what happened. So I waited. But I said to Packer, you go in, put on the soft score for fast lap, and then I was going to scare him a little bit, but I knew I had 3-second penalty, so I couldn't hold him back.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, really good drive though, regardless. And speaking of good drives, we'll move on to the P3 finisher, Zenith. Masterclass on the strategy today, executed perfectly. You found that nice little perfect cushion to drop into on the softs, and you were able to just go push. And we kind of figured, we were doing some math, and we figured, you know, if Zenith pits now, there's a good chance he comes out, and he's only got like 1 or 2 cars to overtake on old hards, and he's probably got a podium in the bag as long as he can convert it. So what were you expecting from tonight? Did you think you had pace for a podium, or were you kind of happy to end up there at the end?
Nah, I wasn't expecting a podium. Obviously, Packer, Killer J, and Felipe probably had more pace than me.
Yeah.
But I don't know what happened in the pit stops. I jumped Camden and Felipe, so I was rubbing my hands, especially coming out on the medium tyres. That benefited me a lot, because I knew if I kept within Packer's DRS, he'll easily gain me like 10 seconds on everyone else behind just through DRS.
Yeah, we saw you following him pretty closely, and we were like, well, you know, he's probably going to extend really at this point, just because it's hard to give up a toe like that, right?
Yeah, by the time I come into the pit stop, the tyres were like late 50s, so they wasn't making it to the end.
Yeah.
The way I was pushing them anyway.
That's what we figured. We were like, the mediums probably aren't going to last to the end. And especially with the high load, there's so many corners with a high load of this track that you really don't want to take any chances. As we saw, like, so many people spun or crashed or...
Yeah.
I don't know if it was before or after you'd pit where Camden... It was something happened with Camden and Killer Blue. They were super close moving through the chicane together. And I don't know if they touched or if they both just had dirty air. It was right after a VSC restart, so the tires might have been a bit cold, and they both went off the exact same direction. So I don't know if that was just a tire issue.
I actually know what happened there, because both of them were in the party. I think Killer was trying to back off because he was at least what he said, he was too close to Ryan going into the corner, so he braked a little bit earlier than normal, and Camden just wasn't expecting it, and then they hit into each other.
Yeah, because those guys were running so close together. I was thinking, like, something must have happened. There was no way that they both just lost the car at that moment.
So I was on board for the Beck Killer Blue incident as well. I was right behind that. That was, I think that was just Beck late braking, I think. And then takes out Jay. Is it Killer Blue Jay? Or...
Yeah, that was a bit of an odd one. They both kind of went off the road there. I don't know if I caught the full thing, but I did see it, and I thought I didn't think it was necessarily anyone's fault. I thought maybe one guy moved late or something, and I think once Beck makes his contact and you're right on the edge like that, you're just gonna end up off the track.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Let's see.
Yeah. Well, rough night for a lot of guys out there. It wasn't definitely wasn't as smooth sailing as we're used to seeing in Tier 1. Usually Tier 1. Not too many incidents, not too many crashes. I think that's the most DNFs we've seen all season. And we got one guy begging to get in the interviews, but he's not getting in here until he gets a podium. But we'll give him a nice shout out for a great drive. That's Maverick in P6. He actually finished P5, but dropped a place on the penalties. So I think if he can just kind of cut down on the penalties a little bit, he'll be picking up some decent results. But it was a really solid drive from Maverick, and did a great job there tonight, and I think that's probably his best drive in Tier 1 so far. Timely as well, as we're moving to the halfway point of the season, so I think he'll be happy with that. He's probably seen something in the chat. Packer, send me a cheeky party invite. You're not getting in here. Or no, wait, he already said that, didn't he? P5 worthy of an interview. Well, it wasn't P5, it was P6.
It was P6.
Yeah, get out of here. P5 maybe. But yeah, anyways, that's it for the interviews. I don't know if you guys have any questions for each other or any comments. Feel free, but I'm going to wrap things up very briefly.
No to the Super League.
No to the Super League, fair enough. Well, hopefully they're watching. Yeah, that was the hot topic of the chat today in the Discord.
Yeah.
Money grabbing bastards.
There we go. Call them out. Get your piece in.
Shall I insert GIF of my VAR GIF? That's what I think. That's what I think of them all.
Yeah, it does seem
old nonsense. Old nonsense.
Bit greedy.
Let's call them out.
Yeah.
What are they, Felipe?
They're all Timo Glocks.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, guys. That's it for round 10. This has been Zenith Online Racing Tier 1. Season 5. We are beyond the halfway point of the season now. Packer, I think you mentioned you got the championship lead back, so next week we should see Nathan back in there and see if he can try and claw some of that back. Should be a nice little duel right to the end of the season, and hopefully we'll see you guys in here again soon. Jinnit, I assume you'll be back at some point. Felipe, you're making a name. You'll be back. Felipe making a name for himself, though. He's been in the podium interviews a few weeks in a row now, so I'd expect to see you here again next week as well. So good luck in round 11, and we'll catch you guys next time Thursday night. You can tune in for Tier 2. They'll be doing the Australian Grand Prix, and then Sunday the EU Tier, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. UK time. You can catch the final race of the week before we move on to round 11. And I don't know where we're going next week.
Japan
Japan next week. There we go. All right. Have a good night, guys.